Let me quickly acquaint you with 5 rare LowDoc business loans for startups and very young companies. $1 million maximum. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome City Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to share with you 5 rare, low documentation business loans for startups and very young companies. When we talk about very young companies, we are speaking about a business that has been in existence for less than 18 months, okay? What does low doc means? Low documentation means that they're not asking you for gazillions of paperwork. No, they're just asking you for maybe your bank statements, financial statements. Some lenders might ask you for your tax returns. Okay, now if you have the more sophisticated lenders, they just want you to connect your accounting software to their system so they can monitor things remotely and in real time. Okay, and you've got to be comfortable with that. There has to be some kind of win-win situation here, right? There has to be some kind of trust also, but that's what it is. Low documentation is kind of similar to no documentation. The more research we do about this topic, we realize that the very concept of a no documentation is very rare. So you basically have more low documentation. In other words, the lender wants to have something. Obviously, they need to base their lending decision on something. They can't just throw money at you, right? So it's all about having the right kind of low documentation loan. And one thing I also need to tell you here is that when we talk about low documentation business loans for startups and very young companies, you are speaking about, among other things, asset-based loans. You are speaking about MCAs, merchant cash advances. You are speaking about revenue-based lending, right? Because at the end of the day, credit, your personal credit or your business credit doesn't matter. What matters is the cash, the ka-ching, 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 the moolah. That's what really matters. They want to see the movement of flows in and out of your balance sheet, in and out of your statement of cash flows, in and out of your income statements. Before I get into the actual rankings, please check out this short loan evaluation approach video. It talks to you about a very rigorous methodology when it comes to judging all the lenders we evaluate on this show. Check this out. Number 5, folks, we have Marlin Capital Solutions. Our score, 8.5 over 10. We love this lender because it provides a low doc business loans for startups and very young companies, okay? And the cool thing here is that you can actually secure up to $200,000 in as little as 2 to 3 days. And with the money, you can grow your business. You can do whatever you want to do. You can use the money for marketing, accounts payable reduction, technology services, expansion. I mean, this is something we have seen with Marlin. Marlin is very pushing a lot of, they are behind a lot of borrowers who want to expand. This is really good. You can use the cash for debt consolidation or refinancing. You can also buy new inventory. We love the fact that Marlin has put in place, this company has been growing like crazy in the last few years. And we love the fact that they're constantly innovating in terms of how they interact with the borrower and how they monitor the loan once the money is dispersed. Okay, so they work in a very simple way. You can apply online. You complete their simple loan application in just 5 minutes or less. No paper, just a few clicks. You provide information about the business. What will happen here is that you will send everything to them. They will study your file. If they need more information, they will contact you. They will assign a loan rep to you. One thing I need to be specific here about is when they contact you, please do not ghost them. You want to reply to them as soon as possible because that shows responsibility, it shows professionalism, but it also shows that you are serious about the loan, okay? And usually they will ask for the 3 bank statements, so your 3 monthly bank statements, and it has to be a business bank account, and they don't have any sort of threshold for or minimum for revenue. They will study everything on a case-by-case basis. This is what we really love with Marlin Capital Solutions. If you need more information about this lender, please contact them at 1-888-479-9111. Again, the number is 1-888-479-9111. Number 4, folks, we have here SouthStar Capital. Our score, 9/10. Great lender. So when we talk about a low documentation business loan for startups and very young companies, SouthStar is a great player. Okay, they offer a diverse catalog of product options that can really be great for you, no matter how old your business is. They actually can help with their lending revolves around accounts receivable financing, purchase order financing, equipment leasing, asset-based lending, government contract financing, invoice factoring, payroll funding, your DIP financing, and mobilization funding. What's really important for us is that when you analyze a lender such as SouthStar Capital, we love the fact that they have nearly every product for every scenario that is possibly imaginable for a startup owner or the owner of a very young business. They've thought about it all. They have thought about it all. Okay. One thing you just need to understand here is that the money is not as fast as Marlin Capital. They don't fund you within 2 to 3 business days. Their turnaround is more 3 to 5 business days. However, when they come, the cash is there, and they can actually fund you all the way to $500,000, and in some cases even higher. It's all about the solidity of your application file. Okay, they can actually they can finance a lot of stuff. I told you before, they can finance purchase orders, they can finance equipment, they can finance your payroll, they can finance working capital, whatever it is. And if you are new in business, it doesn't matter, because they have said it explicitly on their website. Years in business is not a factor in our funding decision. They look at a constellation of things, the most prominent of which is the revenue generation aspect of things. How much money have you made? How much money are you making? Or how much money do you plan on making? That's all they look at, okay? And so they work in a similar way as Marlin Capital. When you reach out to them, you can actually apply online. You enter a few pieces of information about your business, how much money you want to borrow, how much money you're making right now or plan to make in the next 3 months, 6 months. They will ask you to provide your bank statements to them. They will analyze things and they will contact you. Once they contact you, if everything checks out, they'll just give you the cash you need within 3 to 5 business days. Number 3, folks, we have here Noble Funding. I love this name, Noble Funding. Our score, 9/10. So with Noble Funding, you have another great player here. So rates starts at 8.99%, so you have low monthly payments. We love the fact that here, the LowDoc business loans for startups and very young business, the maturity is spread over 3, 4, or 5 years. This is really good because if you are a startup, cash is tight, right? So you want to use every piece of ka-ching you have as responsibly as possible. So the fact that they can actually spread the repayment term over 5 years, guess what? That's wonderful. And you can have accounts receivable lines of credit, interest-only payments. You can have unsecured business loans, unsecured business lines of credit. Let me ask you a question. Big decision time. Does your startup needs a business line of credit, or does it need a business loan? It's very important because business loans and business lines of credit have different needs. A business line of credit is there, the cash is there, it's approved, it's a one-time thing. You don't have to always apply and risk a hard pull to get the cash. whereas a business loan is a one-time thing also, but the only difference is that once you get all the cash at once, whereas a line of credit is the money sitting there, you only tap into it when you need it. Either way, with Noble Funding, whether you have a business loan or a business line of credit, it is unsecured, so there is no collateral required. Okay, no upfront or application fees. You have with this lender, you have a cash flow based lending, and they can actually fund you up to $500,000. This is really good, $500,000. And what we love here is that they actually $500,000 is just the base for the long-term business loans. But if you have, let's say you want short-term business loans, for example, short-term bridge loans, they can fund up to $2 million. Accounts receivable lines of credit up to $8 million. Asset-based lending up to $25 million. Unsecured business loans up to $2 million. No UCC filings. Okay. Commercial mortgage loans, there the lending can go all the way to $50 million. Okay. And basically, we love the fact that Noble Funding is a highly, I would say they have an A+ rating with BBB. For us, this is very important that they have actually already received accolades from other borrowers and other specialists of the lending industry. Okay, and their rates are relatively low, and they cover a lot of industries, from oil and gas services to health and wellness, to printing companies, to security products, to retail chains, to telecom services, to auto repairs centers, to B&B, bread and breakfast, and to manufacturing. So this is really cool. I will be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sturdy Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about 5 rare, low documentation business loans for startups and very young companies. $1 million maximum. Number 2, folks, we have Main Street Finance. Our score, 9.5 over 10. This player is great also. Can you imagine that they're giving you approval within 24 hours? That's just wonderful. I mean, of course, you got to have all the paperwork ready, but they'll take care of you within 24 hours. They have low interest rates, no PG, no personal guarantee, and you have minimum documentation. This is like the quintessential nature, if you will, of a low documentation business loan. And we love the fact that you have an easy application. You can complete your application in just a few minutes. Only the most basic documents are required. Again, we are speaking about what? Well, what is basic documents? Bank statements or cash flow statements. And you have a fast approval, so your application will be accelerated, and you'll be evaluated within 24 hours. Then you'll have your cash in just a few days. And in terms of repayment, you can choose. You can pay back your loan with your choice of repayment method, daily or weekly ACH payments. The only thing here is that they want you to pay on a daily or weekly basis, not on a monthly basis, because they're trying to cover their ass too, right? Because if you are a startup, they don't know if you'll be around 2 years from now or 3 years from now or 1 month from now. So they'd rather take the cash from you, from your bank account every week or every day. That way they can just, mitigate risk also. One thing you need to understand here is that it's not really that bad, because they can fund you really big time. They can fund you all the way to $1 million, depending on the states where you operate from and depending on your business's fundamentals, okay? And so in terms of business loan products, they have everything from business cash advances to business lines of credits. They have business term loans. They have debt consolidation loans. They have collateralized loans. They have equipment financing programs. They have healthcare advance programs, okay? Very, very, very easy to do. And one thing you need to understand also is that when they assign a loan rep to you, make sure that you work with the loan rep, because he or she would know all the inside information needed to help you not only get approved for a subsequent loan, or if you have, let's say, temporary liquidity issues, you can work out a plan with Main Street Finance Group. Not a problem. Number one, folks, here we have right now Lenza. Our score for Lenza, 10 over 10. Great company. Great company. You have, with Lenza, you have small business funding up to $350,000. In some cases, they have been known to go all the way to $1 million. Again, but it has to be the right products, the right transaction, the right company, the right location. So they will look at geography, they will look at the macro of the industry, they will look at everything on a risk-adjusted basis. It's very important to remember that. And with Lenza, you can actually get your secure funding within 3 days. Free request, no obligation required. Okay, they can do a soft pull, not a problem. One thing I need to see here is that Lenza is really a great place. They sort of cover a lot of sectors. You know, like sometimes you go to a lender, they tell you, well, you know, we don't cover this industry, we don't do this, we don't do that, and you're really pissed, right? Lenza doesn't have that. They don't have those restrictions. So if you have no strictures, your chances of getting a loan are high. So what are the financing products? Let me ask you a question. Big decision time. What kind of a financing products do you currently need for your startup or a very young company? Talk to me, because you better have an idea of the kind of financing you need. People say, well, I need money. I need some cash because I need to expand my business. But guess what, my friend? There are different types of funding products, and the more you know exactly what you're looking for, the better it is for you. Let me give you an example. With Lenza, you have a constellation of lending products. You have accounts receivable financing. You have bad credit business loans. You have acquisition funding. You have business line of credit. You have commercial construction loans. You have commercial real estate financing. You have equipment financing. Do those ring a bell? Are you interested? They also have franchise loans. They also have MCAs, merchant cash advances, microloans, minority loans, short-term business funding arrangements, startup funding, traditional term business funding. See, you have a supermarket of loans. So you better have an idea of what you're looking for. So once you do that, you can apply online, or you can even contact them. They are located in New York. So the number is 212-213-2238, 212-213-2238, and have a conversation. You have a conversation, you explain the fundamentals of your business and what you are looking for exactly, and they'll take care of you. I want to give you 2 bonus categories, folks. I know I spoke about 5 rare business loans, but in the course of our research, we have come across 2 great companies, and it's just fantastic. We want to share those with you. Number 1, we have here Viewrage Funding. Our score, 8 over 10. So with Viewrage Funding, you get quick and easy funding from $5,000 to $500,000 in as quick as 2 days. All right, and so they provide small business working capital loans and equipment financing. All of this with low documentation. Okay, and they actually you can actually do everything online. You don't have to contact them if you don't want to. You can do everything online. Obviously, the company is located in California. They might want to call. California, as we all know, has some banking regulations. So depending on where you live in the country, they cover the whole United States. That's not a problem. But depending on where you live, you might have to go through some stringent banking regulations and due diligence arrangements. Very important. But Viewrage Funding is a great player. They will fund everything, depending from working capital to financing to inventory to staff, whatever it is. Okay. So the loans go from $5,000 all the way to $500,000. If you have a question, you can contact them, 888-241-7241. So that's the first bonus lender. We have the second one, Triton Capital, 7.5 over 10. With Triton Capital, the maximum loan amount is $250,000. Okay, $250,000, low documentation business loan for startups and very young businesses. And here you can use the cash for a lot of things. It can be for working capital, It can be an equipment loan. It can be an offer financing. Okay. And Tristan, let me just ask you a question. Big decision time here. Right now, are you in the market for a LowDoc business loan that looks at not only your geography, but also your let's say the trends in the industry, right? Because geography means where your company is located. The trends in the industry might be downward, upward, whatever. But what we love with Triton Capital is that they will fund you even if the sector might be in a downward trend, as long as your company itself shows promise, shows potential. Okay, and one thing I need to say is that Triton Capital is not a direct lender. They are a marketplace lender, so they rely on a constellation of more than 30 national vendors. Okay, and all of those are competing to fund your business. So this is really good. So Triton Capital, 7.5 over 10. All right, folks, this was it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about 7 rare LowDoc business loans for startups and very young companies. Maximum loan amount, $1 million. Number 1, we have Lenza, 10 over 10. Number 2, we have Main Street Finance Group, 9.5 over 10. Number 3, we have Noble Funding, 9 over 10. Number 4, we have SouthStar Capital, 9 over 10. Number 5, we have Marlin Capital Solutions, 8.5 over 10. And in the bonus category, we have 2 players. Number 1, we have here Viewrage Funding, 8 over 10, and Triton Capital, 7.5 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.